Sorry guys, I have to do part two because I got an income call and that automatically made, the video recording stop. And I forgot to put, my phone in not disturb. So anyway, now you're gonna have two videos instead of one. So we're supposed to be answering now the next three questions, and part D is asking me what is the decreasing interval. Now remember guys, that's going to be different than the one from the happy faces, because happy faces go in different directions. So now it's going to be backwards, okay? So now here the decreasing interval now is going to be the other way around. It's going to be backwards from the happy face, because now we're doing sad faces. So if you know now, the decreasing interval now comes from here, because now the parabola is going down this way now, okay? So we always start from the, remember, from the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry here is -2. So the decreasing interval is going to start from -2 to positive infinity. Okay, remember positive infinity, why? Even though you think Mr. but his down here is negative, but we're working with the values of x, okay? Because the parabola is opening up to the right. So the x values here are going to be always positive, okay? Now, the interval of increasing now is different because now, it's different than the happy faces, because now it's going up this way, okay? And it's coming from where? It's coming from negative infinity. So now the increasing interval start from negative infinity to the axis of symmetry, which is -2. So basically, it's the opposite of the happy faces, okay? So happy faces and sad faces. Because remember, the other one, when you come out this way, now the decreasing, it comes from this way, all right? And increase the other way. So this is backwards. Now the rate of change, remember guys, is the slope. So we have to find the slope. When x is -2, y is what? Is 1. And when x is 0, y is -3. So when you have your 2 points, all right, remember, -2, 1, 0, 3, you're going to use the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let me write it here one more time, okay? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here, y2 is -3 minus y1. Okay, let me just label it. So -2 minus 1 over 0 minus, from the formula, -2, which is the value of x1. Now if I solve this, that's going to give me -4 over +2. Because remember, negatives, when I add two negatives, I keep the sign. And when I multiply two negatives, that becomes positive. So the rate of change here is going to be -2. So that you answer for part F. So we did exactly the same thing that we did with the happy faces, okay? Finding the axis of symmetry, finding the values of y and x, or the coordinates, or the order pairs, graphing, and answer the question. So now we're going to do a second problem, okay? So the same thing, okay? They're asking us, let me just fix my paper. They're asking us to graph. Remember what I said before, guys, okay? You probably are going to graph it on the calculator right away to find the table, all right? But to make sure, because listen, if you put this in a calculator, that's A, that's B, and that's C, you might be able to find the table right away. But like I say, some students get nervous and they just keep moving the cursor up and down, and they're not able to see the vertex, right? Because they're nervous. So if you want to be safe, find the axis of symmetry, put it over here, and do exactly what we have done so far, all right? So A here is -2 and B is -4, okay? So I don't need C for the formula of the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to substitute x equals negative from the formula, okay? And because B is -4, I'm going to put in parentheses. That's what you guys, some of you are doing in the homework, that you're forgetting about one of the two signs, okay? So x equals negative to negative is going to give me +4. 2 to -2 is -4. So if I divide that, my axis of symmetry is -1. So I can answer my first question. What are the axis of symmetry? X equals -1. Remember, guys, It's always an equation. Just don't write -1 because that will be wrong. You have to write x equals -1. Now we put the axis of symmetry here. We're going to pick three numbers smaller than -1, which is going to be -2, -3, and -4. And three numbers bigger than 1, -1, which is 0, 1, and 2. Now you're going to put that on the calculator and you're going to go to the table like we did before, okay, and find the values of y. So you know how to do that, and I'm going to waste any time, okay? So remember, you put that equation on the calculator and you go to second graph. And you're going to look for the window from -4 to 2 on the x-axis, and you're going to put, you know, like the value of y of each of those x values. So I already did it, and when it's -4, that's going to be -10, so the same thing on the bottom. Remember, because they're going to repeat. -3 is 0 and 0. When it's -2, 6 and 6, and this is 8. So this is my vertex, okay? Axis of symmetry with the value of y makes the vertex. So the vertex is -1, 8, and we know it's going to be maximum because it's happy face, all right? Sorry, it's a sad face. So let's graph now, okay? So I'm going to do my x and my y in my scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. Okay, so when x is -4, so that means 4 to the left, and -10, 10 down. So 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my fifth point is right here. -3, 0, 3 to the left, and I'm going to stay right there, okay? -2, 6, 2 to the left, and 6 up, 1, 2, remember from the origin, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right here. And -1, 8, so 1 to the left and 8 up, so 6, 7, 8. And after that, when I get to my vertex, what do? I just keep opening up and just matching the next point in the same line. So from the vertex, I'm going to open once, remember just one, and I'm just going to match up the other point. Open once, match up the other point. Open once, and match up the other point. Remember, you cannot have 2 points in the same line because you're going to create a line, okay? Now you create your parabola, okay? You connect the points using like a curve, right? Do your arrows. It's very important to draw your arrows at the end, all right? And that's your parabola, okay? This is my axis of symmetry. You can clearly see that it's -1, okay? Remember, you don't have to do the axis of symmetry. I just like to draw it, you know, because just to give you an idea, you know, like that's when my parabola is cut in half. Now, what is the decreasing interval? Remember, decreasing is the part, because remember, it's a set face. So here is that the parabola starts going down. It goes up, get a maximum, and comes down. While happy faces, it comes down, reach a minimum, and bounce back up. Here it's backwards. It comes up, go to the maximum, and it bounces back down. So here my decreasing intervals are going to be from the axis of symmetry, which is -1, until positive infinity, all right? Positive infinity because it's moving to the right side of the x values. So my interval increasing is going to be the other way around. It's coming from -infinity, okay, to the axis of symmetry, which is -1. And there is my increasing interval. Now, slope. The slope, all right, from the interval from -2 to 0, we're talking from here to here. So when x is -2, the value of y is 6. So that's my x1, and that's my 1, 1. And when x is 0, remember this is the x values, y is 6. So that's my x1 and my y1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my formula, right? The one that I gave you over there. Y equals, my bad, is y2. I'm bugging out, okay? So 6 minus 6 over 0 minus -2. What's going to happen? 6 minus 6 is going to be 0, and 0 minus -2 is going to be +2, which at the end is still going to be 0. So your slope is 0 because that's a horizontal line, okay? And if you know about it, guys, if you go to here and you find the point when x is -2 and when x is 0, look, what is that? A horizontal line. So that's what this slope is looking for. You know, how do you get from one point to another point? So if I do -2 through 0 and I go to my graph and look for those two values of x, which are the roots, all right? Negative 2, 0 is a horizontal line. That's why this slope is 0. All right? Now we're going to have two questions, and I guess we will be done with the lesson. So let's turn the page on the back, all right? And this is not too bad because what I'm telling you here, I'm giving you a half of the graph, okay? This is the same thing you're going to do in your homework, okay? Below you see only one side of the graph of a quadratic function. Complete the graph by plotting 3 additional points of the quadratic function and fill the table on the right. Which means is, remember guys, this is one side. So remember what I told you before, when you get to the vertex, the only thing is you open up, all right, and just match the other point. So that means I'm going to open up once, and I'm going to match that point right here, which that's going to be my other one. I open up one more time, and that is going to be right here. And I open up one more time, and I'm just going to keep going down, and I'm going to match that point right there. So I already have the other side of the parabola. So that means that if I connect those points, okay, that's my other part of the parabola. So they want us to fill in the table. Remember, the vertex here, guys, okay, this is my vertex, okay? So the vertex here, x is 0, so they're going to go in the middle, and y is 3, okay? So obviously, this is going to be -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3, okay? So now, you're going to find the values of y. So when x is -3, all right, which is right here, right? 1, 2, 3. What is the value of y? -6, okay? This point right here, when x is -2, what is the value of y? -1. And when it's -1, which is right here, what's the value of y? +2. And after here, everything's going to start repeating. So there's my table right there, okay? So I think there's one like that on the homework. Now, you have to answer a few questions. What are the coordinates of the x-intercept? The x-intercept here, if you notice, guy, okay, they not whole numbers. They are irrationals, okay? At this point, okay, I'm not gonna waste any time, you know, I'm just not gonna do that because we're gonna do it down the road when we write equations. So for here, because these are the roots, the x-intercept, you put 2 irrational roots, okay? Because it doesn't seem like real roots, you know, like a real, I mean, they are real numbers, but doesn't look like 2 rational numbers because we're not sure if it's 1/2. If that would be 1/2, you know, that will be also, I believe, rationals because, you know, it has an end. But in this situation, it's 2 rational roots. And just for you to know, those roots are, because I already did it, radical 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you later on, you know, how to find the x-intercept, okay? But for now, we're going to just leave it like that. So in future lesson, I will explain that to you. You don't have to do that on the homework because I didn't ask you for anything like that. Now, what are the coordinates of the x-intercept? Remember, the coordinates means like the order pair, all right? If I were to ask you what are the roots, still going to be just radical 3 plus minus radical 3, but we're looking for the x-intercept, which is the order pair. So the y-intercept here, when we have the y-intercept, remember y is always 0. Oh, my bad. X is 0. So here the y-intercept is 3, which is the vertex, okay? Because if you notice, the parabola crosses the x-axis, the y-axis right here when y is 3. So the coordinate for the y-intercept is 0, 3. What are the coordinates of the vertex? So the coordinates of the vertex are the same one, okay? It's going to be 0, 3. And it is a maximum, all right, because it's a happy phase. I'm sorry, sad phase. Okay. If we know the equation for this curve, because I don't have the equation there, right, guys? What will be the sign of the leading coefficient? B. So it will be negative. Remember, guys, just to review, okay, because A equals a negative number. So when the first number of the quadratic equation is negative, the parabola is going to be always a negative. Let me just fold this again, okay? I'm sorry, guys, about that. So remember, just by looking at the parabolas, if you know there is a sad phase, the leading coefficient is going to be negative. And if it's a happy phase, like we did the other day, it will be positive. It will be up, okay? So remember, guys, just to review, happy phase, all right? A equals a positive number. And now we're doing sad phases, okay? Okay, so that means A equals a negative number. All right, that's just for you to remember. So just by looking at this, I know it's going to be A is going to be negative. And by looking at that, I know A is going to be positive. All right, so that's how you know. Okay, so the equation for these sad phases, the leading coefficient always has to be negative, and the equation for the happy phase, A always has to be positive. And now, what is the rate of change? Remember, those are the both values of x. So you have to look for the partner. So when x is negative 3, we have to find the value of y. And when x is negative 2, we have to find the value of y. So when x is negative 3 from the table, y is 6. And when it's negative 2, it's negative 1. So, okay, we're going to do negative 3, 6, negative 2, 1. So negative 3, 6, and negative 2, 1. Okay, I got them from here, remember, from the table, okay? When x is negative 3, y is negative 6. When x is negative 2, y is negative 1. So I'm going to use my negative 1. That phone call, guys, threw me off, because I was concentrated and all of a sudden I'm like all over the place. But I'm still thinking I'm doing a good job explaining to you. So m equals negative 1 minus from the formula y2, which is 6. y1, my bad, and x2, which is negative 2 minus, because this is negative, I have to put it in parentheses, and that going to becomes plus, remember, okay? Minus that minus becomes plus, so negative 1 minus 6 is negative 7. Negative 2 plus 3 is going to be positive 1, so the rate of change here is negative 7. All right? And now, the last one, which there's two options for you to do it. You can actually graph this on the calculator and just look for the vertex, or if it's easier for you, find the axis of symmetry, all right, and you can graph the equation and go to the table and find the value of y from that value of the axis of symmetry. So remember, guys, this is A and that's B. There is no C there, but I don't need C. Remember that my formula is x equals, not y equals, negative b over 2a. So in this situation, a is going to be minus, all right? And because b here is positive, I don't need the parentheses. 68.6 divided by 2 times negative 4.9. That's going to give me negative 68.6 divided by negative 9.8. And if I divide that, that will give me a positive 7. But remember, I'm looking for the value of y, because remember, they ask you what will be the maximum height. The height is always represented by y, okay? So this is the value of x. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have two options. I can just substitute into the equation, all right, for the value of t, 7. So that t can become 7 and that t can become 7. I just put it on the calculator, all right? Then I will do h equals negative 4.9 parentheses 7 squared plus 68.6 parentheses 7. And if I put that in the calculator, my answer is going to be 240. Okay, so that should be choice 2. All right, so let's see what I did. What I did was this. I put, let me turn it on, get out of there. I wrote on my calculator, I put in my calculator negative, okay, the negative on the parenthesis, negative 4.9, okay, parenthesis 7 square close parenthesis plus 68.6 parenthesis 7. That's what I did. Okay, I put that on the calculator and I just did enter. And it gives me 240.1 because it says to the nearest meter, so I have to round it, okay? So I get 240.1, and because of that, I get that. Also, you could have done with this. Once you have the axis of symmetry, which is 7, okay, if you don't want to do that, you could just put in the calculator y equals, eliminate that, and just write the equation, okay? Negative 4.9 x squared, right? They wrote t here, but remember, any letter there is the same thing as x, plus 68.6 x, all right? This is what I did, okay? I entered the equation, and I'm gonna go to second graph, so I can find the value of y when x is 7. So I go second graph, and I go to my table to look for the value of x when it's 7. So I'm gonna go down because here is negative 5. Let me go down, all right, until I hit 7. And it's right there, okay? When x is 7, y is 240.1. But because they say run it to the nearest mirror, so it's gonna be 240. And that should be it. That would be 240.5. Then we have to would have gone up to 241. All right. So that concludes our lesson. Remember, guys, this lesson is for today and tomorrow, and the homework I expect it to be sent to me by Friday. Okay. No late. Remember, no late assignment. If you send it to me late, you're gonna lose points. But also not incomplete assignments. Make sure to draw the plane if you don't know how to, if you can print the page, all right? Stay tight. Have a good day. Bye.